for Book Zealot. Where have you been? We've been here. Where have y'all been? Okay, we've had internet issues. We have had power outage issues. Nothing like Texas. Texas, y'all, prayers are with you. Fight. Yeah. Hi. It's been a month, and I am so glad February is over, because so far 2021 is proving to be worse than 2020. How's your 2021 going? Chirp, chirp.
I have no comment.
Reading, however, reading has been excellent. Communication with other booktubers when we've had internet has been excellent. Yes. I hope you all are doing much better than we are. Okay, so February. I read A Light in the Window. The beginning, I could have done without. Epistolaries, all romantic stuff between Tim and Cynthia. And once you pass that part, it gets really hard-hitting. And this one was so much better than the other one, minus the letters. But it was good. And I will have information on the characters later. Okay, the glitter and the gold. This was my buzzwordathon for February, color gold. And this one was also hard-hitting and powerful. And yes, she had a privileged life. Yes, her family had money. But that doesn't mean that she didn't have struggles. And she mentions what she did for to help during World War I, but then during World War II, having her passport taken away from her and being stuck in a foreign country, fighting to get it back. I'm just saying, if you've got a woman from a privileged life, family with money, if she had problems, you know everybody had problems. Nobody was exempt. This book was so good. So good. And I wouldn't go so far as to say that she had PTSD after World War II, but she definitely
developed some unusual quirks. Well,
she developed an OCD about always having to carry her passport with her in her handbag. Even if she was at home, she would check. Yeah, the paranoia was real. And this was a buddy read. This was my very first book by Charles R. Swindoll. I went into it thinking that it was going to be more about the geography, the time period, the traditions of that time period, and Paul, obviously, including scripture. I didn't like that Swindoll uses various biblical Bible versions, and there were parts of it that were good, parts of it that not so much. He would go down rabbit trails, and I was thinking, what are you doing? What? Stick to the topic. It was good. I will definitely read more. I probably will not keep it. I probably won't keep any of them, but it was good and good enough so that I will continue reading the rest of the series. Thank you, Angie, with Literary Labors, for buddy reading this with me. Angie had some amazing thoughts and topics that I hadn't considered or didn't. I don't even know how to describe it. It was nice to see where her train of thoughts went, because ours were different, and it was nice to share that. Anyway, so that's that one. Okay, this one I started, I don't even remember when I started it, last year, probably March, and I DNF'd it because Ingalls was a spoiled little hypocritical buttwad. Can I say buttwad? He is toilet paper. And Karl Marx wasn't any better. The phrase, the quote that wins the Darwin Award, "The bourgeois is a bourgeois." The best book! Oh yeah, by the way, I did read the New Testament completely through from Matthew to Revelation again because that is my goal for 2021. Why does it feel like I have a hair on me? For 2021. And for January, my favorite book was Hebrews. For February, my favorite book was 2 Peter. But for regular books, my favorite book for February was Jesse James. If you are a fan of Jesse James, the history, the time period, if you haven't already read this, I would be shocked. But if you haven't read it, pick it up. It started out very interesting. I learned a lot, not just about Jesse James and his family, but also that time period and what was going on in Kansas and Missouri. The hatred and attacks that the Union Army was doing, the division of Missouri farmers, neighbor against neighbor, and how that hatred continued past the war. Then there was kind of a lull. It was an important lull though, so I did want to stop. I was over Jesse. Let me just say, I was over it. Over him. But then it picks up. And oh boy, does it pick up. It was so good. I also want to say that I think he was a psychopath. I think he became a psychopath because of something that happened to his stepfather and him. And that was during the war, and it was done by Union soldiers. Read this book. It was so good. Okay, your turn.
Okay, yeah, the CBR that we did on February 1st or the 2nd, I don't remember which, that kind of went out the window. And the only book I think I finished this month was Annie Jacobsen's Operation Paperclip. Okay, first off, the Nazis got up to some stuff. They got up to a lot of stuff.
A lot of bad stuff. Like, if you thought they were bad, they're worse than that.
And, I honestly can't say I disagree with the basic principle of Operation Paperclip. They had some really good technology, granted at the cost of hundreds of lives, if not thousands, of people who died in horrible experiments. But the thing that really got my hair's hackles up is the fact that the American government was saying one thing while doing the exact opposite. I think
hypocrites.
Yeah, I would be less against the operation had the American government publicly admitted to it.
Well, what I don't like is any government using the citizens for guinea pigs.
Yeah, that was true.
I have issues with that.
Anyway, with 1 minute and 12 seconds on the clock.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. We'll pause
stop. I have read parts of Lenin, Stalin, and Hitler. I'm on page 50-something on that one. Unstoppable Global Warming. I picked this up yesterday. Yesterday?
I think so.
And I am on page 64. The End of History and the Last Man by Francis Fukuyama. I am on page 22 on that one. That sounds.
We found out about this book from Shazam. I'll leave a link to his video.
The Satan Revolution. Oh my goodness, the bourgeoisie never ends. How Hitler could have won World War II. This book was very fascinating. I didn't realize that they could have formed a new Roman Empire. Very fascinating. A book thanks to my father. Thank you very much, Father. Stalin, The Passage to Revolution. I'm on page 44. Oh my goodness, the density of this book. And War Against the Weak by Edwin Black, about how America attempted a eugenics project very similar to the Nazis.
Now, doesn't that one tie in with Operation Paperclip?
Yes, this one does kind of tie in with Operation Paperclip. That is it. This is Booksellers. Thank you for watching. 9 seconds on the clock. I did it.